Welcome back to Veterans Benefits Done Right. This is Chris Hahn. In this video, we're going to get right into the 21-4142. It's basically a records release form. This is the title of this. It's called an Authorization and Consent to Release Information to the Department of Veterans Affairs. So you're going to need this filled out. It's going to be submitted to the VA. Download a copy from the website va.gov, or just go into your workbook. We have a copy of that as well. So with that in mind, I also want to let you know and remind you that you've got these controls here that you can stop, start, or pause, or go backwards if you didn't hear something that we said and you wanted to hear it again. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. We're going to start at the top of the form, and the top of the form up here basically just has a lot of information about how long they think it'll take you to fill out the form and so forth. If you don't understand anything in this video or you have some questions, go ahead and you can call the VA toll-free at this number, 1-800-827-1000. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Section 1. It's called the Veteran Claimant Identification. And this is going to start out like most forms with your last name, your file number. You remember on the file number, if you don't have a file number, it's going to be your Social Security number, which is right under here. But also, you will not have a file number if you've never filed a claim before. So don't worry about that. Just leave it blank if that's the case. Down here, they want to know the claimant's name if other than a veteran is filling out this form. Your last, your middle, your first, and the Social Security number, like I said before, of the veteran, which goes right here. And then, of course, if you're not the veteran, they want to know the relationship, your relationship to the veteran, and the Social Security's number. That would be yours if you're not the veteran and you're filling this form out. Okay, so we're going to go right to Section 2. This is the nuts and bolts of where we're going to be getting the information. They want you to list the name and the address of the sources, such as the physician, the hospital, the clinic. Be very fanatic about putting all the information. If you leave out a zip code, if you leave out a telephone number, we don't want to give them any reason to send us back or that they don't have the information correct. And make sure that it's very, very legible. Okay, so this is what you're going to list right here. Okay, you're also the doctor. Don't say just Dr. Jones or Dr. Smith. They want the first and the last name of the doctors. Okay, we're also going to in this box here, we're going to be discussing writing down the dates of the treatment at the offices, or hospitalizations, visits, your discharge treatment, your care. They basically want the month and the year, and then off to the right of that, they want the conditions. You got to list the illness, the injury that is pertinent to your claim. Okay, and then down here, real simple, this is comments. Now this might be an area where you might want to you got to remember that this form is going to go to various healthcare clinics that you've been to. So you may have been seen for something as simple as a cold or bunion or something that seems to be not related to your disability claim. So think about this, and then anything that you think you might come up with as a result of the VA getting the records and the evaluation of conditions, you might want to separate and discuss that here. So you might have been in, like I said, for conditions that are service connected as well as non-service connected. You want to comment on what is what, just to help the person fill out their information or evaluate your information a little bit more positively. Now I'm going to move down to the next page here. It's only a 2-page form. Okay, this one's got a lot of stuff you have to read, and I'm not going to read over all of it because it'll take a while. It's not necessary. But here is the Privacy Act notice, and you'll need to read this. It tells you what the VA will and will not disclose. But this one is this 9B right here. This is a little interesting. It says the undersigned hereby authorizes the hospital, physician, or other healthcare facility listed in item 7A, which was prior to this, that they'll release different information. It's sort of a standard form. But when you come down to here, 9C, you have to check off a box. Either you authorize or you do not authorize those same issues that were listed in 7A. Now you're going to read through this. It talks about some things you may or may not want disclosed. It's listed here, some things such as drug abuse, alcoholism, alcohol abuse, infection, HIV, sickle cell anemia. You have to make that decision, but you're going to have to check off one or the other. Down here, this is the good sign. It's asking for the signature. It means the form is done. The paperwork's easy here. And if in fact this is not the veteran, they want to know the relationship right there, and they want the date. Mailing address right down here. And then of course this form, because of various reasons, is going to require the signature of 2 witnesses. I'm sorry, this one only requires 1. Okay, 1 witness, and it wants the date and the mailing address of that witness. So that's it really for each one of these, but you're going to need to fill out, I believe, a few of them, depending, because they're going to need an original that's going to go to each person. So like I'd mentioned before, you might want to provide information, a doctor's letter, doctor notes, anything that would explain those comments that you may be made, where you're differentiating what is service connected and what is not. So you can provide that information with these to the VA, and that's just going to help things out. So that's it for the 4142. We want to thank you once again for your service and sacrifice. We always want to make it our mission to get you all that you've earned, because you deserve it, you've earned it, and you're entitled to it. So until the next video, take care of yourself.